Well, my Mustang's developed a problem. The last few days it's been playing up a little bit, hasn't been starting at all. Now, I did think it could be the battery, but that's a battery I put on. I did put a different battery on and I got it because the original battery will play up a little bit. So I checked the battery and the battery's alright. And the gauge inside it states that it is charging when you run it. I'll show you the gauge I'm on about. Now if you can see that battery gauge there, when the engine's running, that needle is right over into the right hand side past the 12 o'clock position, which usually signifies the engine is, well, the alternator is charged with the battery. Now I did check the alternator is working, it is putting charge in the battery. And you know when you get to one of those places when you think, oh god, what is this? Is it just something simple or is it going to be something that's like mega expensive? Well, the car tax expired on this at the end of May. So at the moment I've sowned it. Now if you're not from the UK or if you've not done something like that before, what SORN stands for, it's S-O-R-N. What that stands for here in the UK is Statutory Off-Road Notification. Basically what you're doing is you're giving the government a notification, or you're telling the government that you're not going to use your vehicle on the road for a period of time. It's not a set period of time, it's just how long you leave it sown for. So statutory off-road notification, you do that, once you claim that and you attach that to the vehicle, you don't have to tax the car. The downside is you can't drive it, obviously, because it's not taxed. If you're not from the UK, you probably already know if you're not from the UK, if you're not from the UK, cars over here that are less than 40 years old, anything up to 40 years old, they have to pay an annual or a 6 monthly tax in order to use them on the road. Now, I didn't want to spend money on taxing this if it was going to be something that was a major problem. So obviously I've sown it at the end of the month, at the end of last month, when it was supposed to be taxed for this month. But I think I've sussed out what the problem is. And I think it's going to be a dead easy fix, which is amazing. Of course, I've sown it now. But that doesn't really matter, because I have another vehicle to drive. More about that in another video. In the meantime though, let's go to the bonnet of this and see what it is that I think is causing the problem with it not charging very well. Now, ignore the battery chiming away there, that's just the chimes because the door's open. In these Mustangs, hood releases there, the bonnet releases there. So we'll just give that a pull. Now we can get away from that noise. Right, so let's get this opened then. Right, so everything in here looks pretty much okay, as it should be, aged and a bit of like patina, but that's nothing. What I think the problem is down here with the battery. No, ignore that, that's just the battery clamp for now. But this one has got one of the old-fashioned cable clamps on it, and it's tight, it's not going anywhere at all. But I knocked this one the other day, because I've got a jump pack that I use to sometimes start and I've got a flat battery. I knocked this one the other day, and look at this. It's like loose, and you can just lift it off. Now, that shouldn't be like that, and that nut there won't go any tighter. I don't know if you can actually see in there, but that's as tight as it's going to go. It can't get any closer, any tighter. So I think that might be the problem. Now, I do have some excessively stupid battery clamps that I've had for any amount of years. They were in the garage and then I went into the shed and I dug a couple out the other day. They are a bit max power though, but you know, you need a battery clamp and it's all you've got. You don't spend any money. You have to use what you've got. However, there's a bit of a downside to them. Now this is the max power battery clamp. Look at the state of that. Flashy or what? Now obviously being the negative one, that hole there is slightly smaller than it would be for the positive cable or the positive post on the battery. And what you normally do is this thick wire here, that one there, would bolt into that one and would screw into that one, and that screw would tighten down onto it. And then obviously this little thinner wire you could put in one of those side ones there. But when you look at this one is the same as that one, as in it's got the molded in ring on the end of it, or the eyelet on the end of it, and this one's just got the bolt straight through, attaching that to that. This cable should be in there, should go through that side, 2 screws on, it should be round the other way. However, it's not. So when you look at this one is exactly the same. It has the eyelet in there somewhere that you can't see because it's pinched together. So the eyelet's in there, and if I cut that eyelet off and just twist that wire and put that wire into there, then that cable is not going to be long enough to reach up to the battery post. So I had to go out and buy a battery clamp similar to that one. And this is the clamp. Now this was, you can see this was a £5. What happened to battery clamps? I seem to be remember when these were like £1.50, something like that. £5 for a negative battery clamp. You do need to make sure you get the negative one, obviously negative, because as I said, these ones, the holes in these ones are slightly smaller to the positive side. So we'll take that out of there, get rid of that, and then what we're going to do is put that over the battery the same way and just connect the eyelet in the cable through there and bolt it up, same as on the other one, and hopefully that will solve the problem with any luck anyway. Of course, the next thing is this going to come off fairly easily? I mean, this should, if I get the spanner around the right way, right, that's done. I'm doing it this way with it on the battery, so I've got a bit more leverage to turn the nut. Don't know how I'm going to get this nut out of here though. That might be interesting. So it's being clamped really tight. So get that nut out of there. I'll take that off there. Now I need to find a way to get that out of there. I wonder if that will turn. We'll get that out that way. I'm going to unscrew that from in there. That might work, mightn't it? Well, that seems to be working. Well, that makes life a little bit easier. Just carry on taking that out of there. Now, what I need to do is find out how that's attached to that. Right, we have a look at that and see how it's attached, because that looks as though it's almost one piece. Why is it always difficult? Why can it never be easy? You know, it's, yeah, that looks like that's just a one piece. Well, this is going to be interesting, isn't it? Right, let me have a look at that and see how that works. Right, well, I've cannibalised that. I'm going to take it off a pair of pliers and split it all apart, because it looks as though this is actually moulded into there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to drill that hole out and make it a bit bigger, and then I can attach it to that clamp, and hopefully that will solve the problem. Hopefully it will anyway. Let's get the drill and get that drilled out though. Right, well, as you can see, I've managed to get that out. Turns out this little bit, when I find it, it's still a bit warm. That there, if you can see that, that's just like some kind of press fit into that hole. So enough pressure on it while I was trying to drill out and enlarge the hole, and it's left as a nice big hole there. So all we'll do is get this set up the way it's set up on the other side. We'll need that to go through there. Will that go in the middle there? So we'll put that through there. And what I'll do is, that might, yeah, that won't fit over it, will it? So we'll put it on that way on. I just need to bend that out a little bit. Make sure everything fits. That's better. Nice, that should go through there. And we can get our nut on there without dropping it down the side of the engine. Now that should go all the way down on there. Oh yeah, that's a much better fit, look at that. Right, now this is a 12mm nut, so we'll just get that tightened up a bit on there. Will that fit in? No, that won't fit in there. Hopefully this is going to solve the problem, because I think part of the problem when it wasn't starting pretty much every other day when I wanted to use it, it wouldn't start. I had to jump start it. Like I say, I knocked the original clamp. Oh yeah, that's not going anywhere. So I knocked the original clamp, and when I knocked it, as you saw, it moved. However, that one doesn't anymore. And as you can see, we've now got this one on the positive side. We've got a bit where the wire should pause video for motorbike going past. We've got this one on the other side, the positive one. Now that cable, or those cables, should go through there. 2 screws to hold that down, but obviously they're missing. So all they've done is, if you can see that, that's the moulded part that I've just sorted out on the other side, and then they've put that through, attached it with a bolt where it hugs around, and it's on there. So I've done this one exactly the same way, and that is now tight, not going anywhere. So hopefully we'll jump it, see if we can get it to start, and then next time I go to start it, it should be okay. Actually, I'm just thinking, before I jump start it, will it start with enough power in the battery now the battery's connected properly? Let's have a look, see if it will. Let's jump in the car, see if this will work. Right, here goes. Will it work, or is the battery too dead? Because it has stood for a couple of days. No, battery's dead. Right, so we can get it a jump and see if it'll work that way. Right, well, I've got the jump pack on. Now I haven't shown the jump pack because obviously not a sponsored video. I don't want anybody getting the wrong idea that I'm being sponsored. I'm not letting anybody know I am, so I'm not showing the jump pack. It's your standard little jump box thingy attached to your car battery. So, key. Let's see if this works. Life on the dashboard. I'll just shut that off. There we go, perfect. Now as you can see, like I was saying earlier, that is charging, so I'll leave this running for a couple of minutes. The choke will come off and that'll drop down to a decent rev. So we'll leave that running for a few minutes, and then may try shutting it off, and then we'll go up. There's the choke coming off there. Right, I'll go and get the jump pack off, leave this running for a few minutes, and we'll see where we'll go after that. That's still running, as you can see. It's up to temperature now. Still charging, so that's fine. That's where it normally sits. The choke's dropped, the choke's come off, revs have dropped, so it's been ticking over for, well, about half a cup of coffee. So I made a coffee while I was waiting for this, so let's shut it off. Right, we'll give that a couple of minutes. Now I don't know if that'll have put enough power in the battery for a restart, so it may not. If it hasn't, obviously I can take the battery off, put it on charge overnight, and that should sort that problem out. But let's have a look, see if it'll restart. Yes, a little bit low, but it started. So now all we need to do, take it out for a drive. I can't do that obviously because it's not taxed on the road, so I might move it up and down the drive a little bit, a couple of times, give it a bit more charge on the battery. I think I'll take the battery off, stick it indoors and charge it overnight anyway, make sure it's got some power into it. But that should do that one for now. Hopefully that's a problem solved. Thanks for watching this one. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and even hype if you enjoyed the video. A nice easy fix there. Thankfully did not replace the alternator, the battery or anything like that. See you next week. Bye for now.